Welcome guys to another tutorial. Today we will be talking about inputs and outputs in Python. There will be exercises in the description below, so go ahead and check those out. Now in Python, to output data, we use the print function. We can print directly or print the data stored in variables. Now some important definitions. Typecasting means converting a data type to another. One example of when we want to typecast our variables is when we want to concatenate or combine multiple strings to print on the same line. For example, a variable of type int, like age, cannot be concatenated with other strings because it's not a string. We have to convert the int to a string first. If we don't, we will get a type error exception. After typecasting the int, we can concatenate it with the other string. Another way that does not involve typecasting our variables is formatted string literal, or f strings, that allow us to embed variables inside strings. So now, if we have two variables that we want to concatenate with other strings, we can use f strings. So we add an f in front of our quotes and surround our variables with curly braces. For receiving inputs, we use the input function and directly save the input to a variable. Furthermore, if we want to be more clear about what kind of data we want the user to input, we can type a prompt inside the input function. One thing to note about the input function is that it always returns a string. If we want to use another type, we have to manually convert the input. Here we're converting to an int because we need the input to be an int. For the example below, we are asking for a grade, so the input will have to be converted to a float. In this exercise, we're going to ask the user to enter their age and their name. Then we're going to use f strings to print the contents of the variables. So I'm going to create a variable called age, and I'm going to ask the user to enter their age. So how old are you? And I'm going to convert this to an int since we're going to receive a whole number. Next, I'm going to create another variable called name, and this is going to be a string. So I'm going to do input, and I'm going to ask them to enter your name. Now finally, I'm going to print this information using an f string. So f, I'm going to say my name is, or a name variable, and I am, and then our age variable. This is the solution for the exercise, so I'm going to run it. I'm going to say 34, my name is Daniel, and I get my message. In this example, we're told to ask the user for 3 grades, their name, and their ID. Then we're going to print this information. So I'm going to start by creating a variable called grade1, and we're going to receive a grade, which is a float. So I'm going to convert to a float, and we're going to ask the user to enter grade. And I'm going to do this again for grade 2 and grade 3. Now I'm going to ask the user to enter their name. So I'm going to create a variable called name, and it's going to be a string. So I'm going to just do input and enter full name. Now for the ID, it's going to be an int. So ID int input enter ID. Finally, I'm going to calculate the average for the 3 grades. So I'm going to create a variable called average. And this is going to be grade 1 plus grade 2 plus grade 3. And this is an E. I'm going to divide this by our total grades, which is 3. And finally, I'm going to print the information. So print, I'm going to print the name. I'm going to print the ID. I'm going to print the grade. For the grade, we're not going to use f strings. We're going to typecast our variables. So I'm going to convert our variables, grade 1, grade 2, and grade 3 to strings because they're floats. So grade 1 plus, I'm going to add a comma, then str, grade 2, comma, and finally grade 3. And finally, I'm going to print the average. Alright, now we're going to run, and we're going to import our information. And here we have our information. This will be it for today. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. As always, keep coding.